Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hound Group, and on a truly international final day at Crufts, we welcome our final group judge from Norway. Born into the world of greyhounds, his Jets prefix was begun with his mother in 1975 and has become world-renowned. He began his judging career in 1987. Here in the UK, he is passed to award CCs to 142 breeds, plus all 7 groups and best in show. This is his 8th UK Hound Group appointment. Please put your hands together for the hugely talented Mr. Espen Eng, escorted into the ring by the Crufts chairman, Mr. Tom Mather.
And there's our judge for the Hound Group this year. It's Espen Eng from Norway, a world authority on all the hounds. He's 3rd generation breeder of greyhounds. His mother started before him and her father before that. They've bred over 244 champion greyhounds. Amazing.
So the hounds are going to enter. These dogs all originally bred for hunting, either by smell or by sight. And the first into the arena is the elegance of the Afghan Hound. Gleaming coat.
Followed by the Basenji.
Here is the Basenji, from the Congo area of Africa.
Next we have the Basset Fauve de Bretagne.
In comes the Basset Fauve de Bretagne, a scent hound developed in Brittany.
The Basset Griffon Vendeen Grand.
And here's the Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen, the largest of the Basset family.
And our next best of breed is the Basset Griffon Vendeen Petit.
Griffon Vendeen Petit, the smaller version.
Next we have the Basset Hound.
Here's the one that we perhaps all know best. It's the Basset Hound.
And now we're joined by the Bavarian.
In comes the Bavarian Mountain Hound. Just 10 of them at Crufts this year, bounding in enthusiastically.
We have the Beagle.
And here comes the Beagle from a very big entry today. 2nd time she's been best of breed here.
Followed by the Bloodhound.
The Bloodhound is another famous and well-recognised scent hound.
We're now joined by our best of breed Borzoi.
The elegance and glamour of the Borzoi, the Russian Wolfhound.
Followed by the Cirneco Dell'Etna.
Here comes the Cirneco Dell'Etna. Not quite as well known as some of those other hounds, a scent hound.
Now we have the first of our Dachshunds. This is the long-haired.
First of the Dachshunds, the standard long-haired Dachshund coming in now.
And the miniature long-haired following swiftly after.
Our next Dachshund is the smooth-haired.
And here's the standard smooth. A red one coming in now.
Followed by the miniature smooth-haired.
And the smaller version, the miniature smooth-haired Dachshund.
We're then joined by the wire-haired Dachshund.
Here's the standard wire. We've seen one of those win best in show at Crufts in recent years.
Followed by the miniature wire-haired Dachshund.
And here comes the miniature again. Harsher, denser undercoat.
Waiting in the wings, the
Next we're joined
Deerhound,
by the
the
Deerhound.
curving, graceful lines of the Deerhound.
Can't get more of a contrast with the Dachshunds, can you?
And then we have our best of breed Finnish Spitz.
Here's the national dog of Finland, is the Finnish Spitz.
We're now joined by the Foxhound.
And one of the rarer breeds at Crufts, the Foxhound.
Followed by the Greyhound.
And the Greyhound, popular breed, but it is on the vulnerable breeds list.
Joining us next is the Hamiltonstovare.
The Swedish Foxhound now, the Hamiltonstovare. Coming only in this rich tricolour.
Harrier.
And here is the Harrier. Now there is a bit of breed history because this is a working pack hound shown by the huntsman here today.
The Ibizan Hound comes in, a dog which has its roots in ancient Egypt.
Followed by the Irish Wolfhound.
Oh, gentle giant, the Irish Wolfhound.
Joining us next is the Norwegian Elkhound.
Distinctive grey coat of the Norwegian Elkhound making an entrance.
Then we have the best of breed Otterhound.
Oh, the wonderfully rustic Otterhound. Almost extinct not so many years ago.
Pharaoh Hound.
And comes the Pharaoh Hound.
Jumping over the shadows, they are athletic, you know.
Portuguese Podengo.
The little Portuguese warren dog, the Portuguese Podengo, rabbit hunters.
Well, From the rabbit hunters to
Next
the
we
lion
have our best
hunters,
breed,
the Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Then this looks very smart coming in now.
Followed by the Saluki.
Here's the elegance of the Saluki, a youngster.
Now we're joined by the Slugi.
In comes the Slugi, a North African dog originally.
Followed by the Whippet.
From the biggest entry, almost 400 here. Here's the best of breed.
Finally, the winner of the AV Import Register.
And the Import Register winner is the Azawak, sight hound originating from the Sahara.
And I hand you over to Kim Sillotubeel and Jenny Shora-Wheeler in the commentary box.
Thank you, Stuart. And we move straight
So the Hound
on
Group,
to
it's
the
a big
second
group,
on this
Frank,
final
and the
day
judge
of
is going to
Crufts.
have quite a task on his hand here to choose a shortlist and then a winner for Best in Show.
Yes, the Hound Group is made up of a mixture of sight hounds, those that hunt when they see the quarry, and they're usually gallopers, as opposed to the scent hounds. They're usually shorter legs, so they can get their head to the ground and take in the scent. So the short legs for scent, long legs for the sight hounds.
And a lot of these breeds will enjoy quite a significant amount of exercise as well.
They're always ready for a walk, yes, yes. And they're off. If you let them off, you often don't get them back again. They go on the hunt.
With so many different shapes, body shapes in this Hound Group, haven't we?
And that's
Size
what
as well.
Espen will be taking on in now. Are they the right shape for the breed? The right shape, outline and balance.
Importantly, are they fit for function, for that function for which they were originally bred to do, the sight hounds and the scent hounds. Our judge will get a closer look.
Elegance in movement and carriage, topped by a glamorous coat, typify the sight hound from Afghanistan.
Well, the Afghan Hound is elegance and glamour. This is a sight hound that originated in the Afghan desert plains, hunting either there or in the rugged mountains for deer, gazelle, or smaller game like hares and foxes.
Equip him for the job he was bred for, of hunting deer, gazelle,
And this one has come from
smaller game,
Australia
like
to
the
win
hare
Best of Breed
and
today.
fox.
So that's a journey made worthwhile. So they are exotic and glamorous, and the standard says they should move with a style of high order, really carrying themselves elegantly, a light lift to their movement, a ring to the tail.
And that coat has to develop naturally, doesn't it?
Yes, that saddle along the back should develop naturally, not trimmed in.
324.
So 2-year-old Winston has flown all the way here from Perth in West Australia.
Judged today by Frank Kane, and from an entry of 65, Frank chose this.
And on the table now the Basenji, and this is a hound which goes back to the time of the pharaohs. You can see dogs like this on the tombs of the pharaohs, but it's thought they come from the Congo area of Africa, and they should resemble a gazelle in miniature. They're long-limbed, short-backed, with this tight tail over the back. This one coming from Sweden. I had the pleasure of judging the breed today. High quality, 67 of them here, and this one, a very convincing winner for me.
And since then, the breed has increased steadily.
So what was it about this particular 5-year-old, Frank, that really caught your eye?
Well, he's got the fine bone and the long limbs, and the neat ears, and that wonderful tail turned over the back, a tight curled tail, and this wonderful swinging stride. And there, wonderful reach and drive and that fantastic top line. He's Dog of the Year in Sweden.
And found her best of breed in this bitch, number 16481.
The Basset Veuve de Bretagne is a scent hound that developed in Brittany and capable of hunting almost anything. The colours can be fawn, gold wheaten or red wheaten, and the judge will be looking for a rough coat but flat. And this is a 3-year-old called Bunny.
Being a relatively recent arrival here in the UK, introduced in
And they only come in this colour. The Basset Fauve means fawn. They have this rustic double coat, hard on top, softer undercoat. They hunt in pairs. I've seen the little, and they have small packs of them at the hunting centre in Chantilly in France, and it's wonderful to see them working in their paired collars.
Judge will be looking for that tail to be set high, tapering to a point and carried like a sickle, as we can see there when moving.
The Basset Griffon Vendeen Grand.
And from an entry of 26.
And here's the
Judge
largest
Jose
of the Basset Hound
Juan
varieties,
Demelo
the
go over.
Grand Basset
He
Griffon
chose this dog
Vendeen.
16499
Everything is long and
to come through to
scopy
the
about
group
this.
this
This
evening.
long noble head,
Grant is
the
an
long
intelligent,
fine ears with
well-balanced
its inward
scent
curl,
hound with
a long
huge
body and a
personality.
long tail.
He's bred to hunt with enthusiasm, stamina and perseverance.
This dog,
baying
6
freely
years
and very
old,
loudly
come here
when
from
he's
the
following
Netherlands.
scent.
That is a champion dog
The ground
already,
is
multiple
described
best
as
in
low to the
shows.
ground,
The head
hence
should
the
have
Basset
Frank a
in
noble
full
look
name.
to it.
Yes, it's a sort of
Customarily
lovely
short and
clean
2
skull,
GB
and the ears are fine with a slight inward twist. Now, they have this weatherproof top coat, but it's very important that they are not over-trimmed. They shouldn't look sculptured. They have to retain a rustic look.
That's our best of breed, Basset Griffon Vendeen Grant.
Very nice stride there. The tail carriage is perfect and a wonderful top line.
Now comes
A very
the
nice
Petit
picture.
variety, also judged by Jose Hound Demelo. He had
Well, this
78
particular
Ps,
Basset Griffon
and his best of breed
Vendeen,
choice
Hemi,
was the
2-year-old,
dog
won best
number
of breed at Crufts last year
16536.
as well. It's the
Numerically
second
the
of
most
the Basset
popular
Griffon
of the
Vendeen
Griffon
breed. This one with
Vendeen
shorter ears,
varieties,
the
perhaps
Petit
because
variety.
of its size and amiable nature. They originate
Everything is
from the
more
area of
moderate about the
Vendée in
Petit. It's a
France,
shorter
but
head,
it's just
shorter
one of many
ears and a
small
shorter
varieties
tail,
of French
but the same
hounds
rustic
that we
appearance
trace
with this
back to
double
the
coat.
16th century,
They've become
when it was
hugely
used
popular as
to
show
hunt
dogs
rabbits
all over
and
the world
hares.
because they just love, look, they're show dogs and they really love moving and showing off.
The owner describes this one as always being happy and loving life in the countryside. The judge will be looking for great drive on the move.
That's your best of breed, Petit Basset Griffon Vendeen, number
His long
165.
eyebrows should
Again-
stand
again, that
well
same
forward.
That same lovely movement and top line
Now
and tail
Judge
carriage.
Espinel turns his attention to the Basset Hound. They were judged today by Ken McLean, and there were 120.
Now here is the Basset Hound, the Basset variety we probably are most familiar with from the time of Fred Basset. Now, it's thought that they were originally bred by French monks from the Middle Ages. There's reference to Basset Hounds trailing their ears in the dew in Shakespeare's plays. They are a lot of substance in that frame, strong bone, this again the fine turned ears. It's important that they don't have too much loose skin or wrinkle. Nothing should be exaggerated. We see a little pouch of hair, a pouch of skin over the hocks. That's permitted, but it shouldn't be exaggerated.
One of the newer
This is
additions
18-month-old
to this Hound
Curtis.
Group, judged by Hans van den Berg. We have the Bavarian Mountain Hound best of breed.
Here's the
This
Bavarian
dog,
Mountain
number
Hound best of breed, only 10 of them at Crufts this year, and 23-month-old Bear was best of breed, an agile and athletic hound, developed to use its nose to track down wounded game.
Steep mountain slopes. The dog is athletic.
So they're a sort of
and agile.
miniature bloodhound, really, and again
The
they're
breed
built
is
for
in some
work.
respects a smaller
Sturdy
version
bone,
of the
this
Hanoverian hound.
triangular shaped
A
head,
small German bloodhound
neat
which
ears,
played a large part
and again
in its
carrying
ancestry.
itself well. It's able to get its head down
The breed
to the
was
scent,
first officially
coming
recognised
only
by
in
the
this
Kennel
dark
Club in
colour, sometimes with a
1996
black
on the
mask,
imported
as we see here.
register. Your best of breed Bavarian Mountain Hound, number 16718.
Calm and devoted temperament is what the judge will be looking for.
And this one still looks a young dog here.
And from an entry of 184 beagles, best of breed was this bitch, number 16800.
And here is the Beagle coming from a big entry today. It's the smallest of the British pack hounds and is bred to hunt hares and to be followed on foot, not horseback. Established in the 16th century, and in fact Queen Elizabeth I had a pack of miniature beagles. Pocket beagles they were called then.
Well, this is Tiana, who won Best of Breed at Crufts in 2023 as well, has been top beagle last year, so has had plenty of success, Frank, already.
Yes, coming from a good kennel, the Anavar kennel. Nothing exaggerated about the Beagle. Got this lovely soft head and expression. Everything's built for work. And very nice stride here with lovely top line and enjoying the time in the big ring.
She had 18 and her best breed choice was this dog, number 16909.
One of the older dogs turning 7 years of age next week. This is Mission the Bloodhound, and it's a really famous, well-recognised breed. Got a big cheer coming into the arena. The scent hound that was bred in Britain since before 1300. This is a champion dog as well.
In the 19th century, he was used to rescue the French Chien.
And he's a wonderful working dog as well. He's been very successful in working tests. This is a category 3 breed, Ali, so which means that it's had the best of breed award confirmed by veterinary examination after the judging. They were prone in the past to have exaggeration of skin, which caused eye problems, and so the breeders have worked hard in. Actually, this dog here has a gold award for the health test. Marvellous.
Those ears, a particular feature, should be thin and soft to the touch, and particularly long, falling in those graceful folds.
Elegant and spectacular breed, a true aristocrat of the hound breeds.
Here, the elegance and glamour of the Borzoi, the Wolfhound of the Russian aristocracy. It's thought it comes down from the Greyhound. Its name Borzoi means swift. And these hunting days in the Russian aristocracy were very glamorous affairs. The dogs hunting in pairs, working on the wolves from either side till they brought the wolf down. Everything about the Borzoi is aerodynamic.
Well, this one, Frank, has come from Tokyo. We've already seen the Jack Russell from Japan make it through to best in show. It'd be quite something if we had another dog from Japan go through.
And we see this rise over the loin. That's to give it muscular power in driving forward and galloping power.
We now turn to one of the more recent.
Oh, lovely style. Holding that top line on the move, this light lifting gait. Lovely.
23 for Judge Jeff Horswell to preside over. Best of breed was this dog.
The Cirneco Dell'Etna was used for hunting rabbits near Mount Etna, hence getting that name. 23 of them at Crufts this year. And it is a scent hound. Those large ears give an acute sense of hearing, but also can hunt by sight as well.
But he can also hunt by sight and has acute sense of hearing.
And again, it has a similarity with the Pharaoh Hound, which we'll see later, and it dates back to ancient times of the pharaohs, and dogs like this and the Pharaoh Hound could be seen on the tombs of the Egyptians. Sleek in coat, light in its movement, a look of athleticism about it.
The springy trot is a real feature of this breed, and this is 5.5-year-old Rafa.
Dachshund's varieties now on the table. We see the long-haired Dachshund, judged today by
now the first of the Dachshund family on the table. Now this is the standard long hair. The Dachshund hails from Germany, where it was known as the Teckel, which means badger dog, and that was one of the quarry which they hunted. They should be fit to track the game and also go to ground after it, so that's why they're low to ground.
Was their original purpose. The long-coated variety of the Dachshund.
Were you judging this group as well, the long-haired Dachshunds, Frank, this year?
No, I did the standard smooth today. We'll see later, but they all share the same standard. They're supposed to be fairly low to ground, moderately long in the body, not exaggerated in the back, and there should be this conical head, strong jaws to help them to do their job well. One of the great challenges is to have the low-to-ground dog with freedom of movement. They haven't to be too low to ground. Some ground clearance is necessary. And again, a very nice top line, striding out and getting the hocks well underneath it.
Dachshund had a breed entry of 115 this year at Crufts.
So here is the miniature long-haired, preferably weighing under 5 kilograms. They should still be well muscled and compact with enough ground clearance to enable free movement. And this is a 2-year-old from Northern Ireland called Sparkle.
With the obvious exception of size.
One of the great challenges in breeding any miniature breed is to get the same quality and good construction in a smaller mould. And the Dachshund breeders have all worked very hard to get good quality in this smaller size. This one, the miniature long, so they have this feathering on the back legs, on the ears, and a dense weatherproof top coat. This one a black and tan.
That's the miniature long-haired Dachshund, 17183.
The low build that we see in those strong forequarters would have helped the breed with going to ground and digging, going after rabbits and badgers.
Is the smooth-haired Dachshund, judged today by Frank Kane, and from an entry of 100.
And I had the pleasure of judging this variety today, the smooth-haired standard variety. This one, a red dog. It's the second of the coat types. This is smooth coat. It's a dense coat, smooth, and has lovely soft texture to it. We can see here this deep chest, this good underline, and a level top line, and this conical shaped head.
Make this breed an ideal family companion.
So it's basically, Frank, like the long head, but he's taken his jacket off.
Yeah,
Is that one way of putting it?
absolutely right. Now, again, the standard says they should be brave to the point of rashness. So they were working dogs, they should be ready to take on anything. There's been some problems in recent years of getting them a little timid and getting them, you know, sometimes they can be a bit reserved. Today, this dog showed beautifully. He's striding out nicely now. And what I like about him is free from exaggeration. He's not too long, he's not too low.
17359.
A very nice picture of the level top line, the deep body, and striding out nicely.
She had a super entry of 199.
Well, this one's pet name is Diva. Well, we see some Diva activity in the show ring. A 2-year-old female who's come here from Italy. And this one again, the miniature smooth-haired Dachshund. And Queen Victoria was a big Dachshund fan, but those numbers have fallen away over time. 24 of them, 199 rather, here at Crufts this year. So a big group now.
It is perhaps the most popular variety these days, and I must say this looks a particularly good one. It's got everything that you'd want in a Dachshund, scaled down here. This lovely chest, moving straight towards us. That's very good front movement, and carrying yourself with great confidence. So they may be the miniature variety, but they're full of attitude.
Your best of breed miniature smooth-haired Dachshund, number 17480.
The 2-year-old Diva here from Italy, described by the owner as very sweet and exuberant.
Van was the wire-haired Dachshund judge here at Crufts. Best of breed.
And here on the table now, the wire-haired variety, the standard wire. One of my favourite varieties. Got this rough coat, the whiskers and eyebrows give them the look of a wise old man, I think. And there he's looking round, very composed. The judge just looking at the shoulders, feeling the bone and the texture of the coat.
Hard, close-lying coat, which is harsh and wiry enough.
You're so right about that expression of wiseness in the face and the head carriage. It's maybe the eyebrows which help to give that sense of expression.
He's bold in appearance, and his head is made
Those legs and feet should be neatly covered with that wiry, harsh coat.
It should be wiry, not soft. It has to be protective in the thick undergrowth.
With all the temperament characteristics of the other Dachshund varieties.
This one, a big winning dog from Cumbria, and he's had group wins in the past, so will he do well tonight? We'll soon know.
The last, but by no means least of our Dachshund
This 5-year-old has travelled from Spain, called Petit, so we've got the miniature variety of the wide-hair Dachshund. So that same harsh outer coat and dense undercoat, and although it should be a much lighter, smaller dog, should still be well-muscled and compact.
Number 17745.
Again, lovely proportions. It's got good ground clearance. It's got some daylight underneath it. Lovely length of body and a very good coat. This one has won world winner. That's best of breed at the World Show 4 times. That's a tremendous record. And great character. She's been here before. She's very wise and a great showgirl. No lack of confidence here.
Absolutely strutting her stuff.
Dead keen and alert. They make excellent little watchdogs too. That's your best of breed miniature wirehead Dachshund.
Described by the owner as the best Dachshund in the world. Says seriously, a queen, really clever.
And our judge Espineng turns his attention to the Deerhound now. 90 of them for Judge
Now, one of my favourite hound breeds, the Deerhound. It's a large, rough-coated dog of Greyhound origins. We can see a lot of the Greyhound in it, in the head shape, in the back line with this arch over the loin, but topped by this rustic coat to give it protection. All curves. We'll see the judge there just running his hand along the coat, feeling the texture.
After a period of decline, the efforts of a band of
Well, it's yet another dog who is a repeat appearance here, because Pearl, 6 years old, won best of breed at Crufts in 2023 as well.
Yes, a very big win and a beautiful specimen of the breed. This lightness on the move. When we see that arch over the loin, she's carrying herself nicely. Lovely.
17824.
Pearl's the singer, just going just like a deerhound. Lovely
Here we see
lines,
the Finnish
elegance
Spitz.
with a bit of
Rony
substance.
Dojans carried out judging duties with the 10 present here today, and he found his
Here's
best
the
breed
Finnish
in this
Spitz
dog,
best
number
of breed called
17913.
Thunder from Bridgewater. The national
As
dog
this
of Finland is
Spitz
the
breed's
Finnish
name
Spitz,
implies,
originally
the
bred
country of
to
origin
hunt
is
elk
Finland.
and bear,
Theirs
and
is
they'd
the
bark
national
to
dog
signal that
with
they'd
the
found
written
something.
breed
But nowadays that
standard
bark
going
is used
back
to
as
signal that a
far
game
as
bird has been found
1812.
up in the trees, so helping hunters when they're in thick
Quite
forest.
a number of Finnish national patriotic songs include mention
Now,
of
I think
the
we could
breed.
say this was the noisiest of the
Originally in
hounds
its
because they
homeland,
are
the
noisy,
Finnish
even as
Spitz
pets.
was
If you've
used
got one,
primarily
they
to
make
seek
very
out
good guard
game
dogs.
birds such as
The
black
interesting
grouse.
about them is they've got
But
this
it has also been
iridescent
used to
red
track
coat,
large
a sort of
game
glow
such as
comes from
elk
it.
and even
Underneath it, they
bear.
should be quite lightly built. They have to be athletic
That's your
and
best of
firm.
breed,
And again,
Finnish
Spitz-like,
Spitz,
it's got this
number
tail arched over its back.
17913.
That stunning bright red coat. Interestingly, the puppies have black hairs which then
And the
decrease
next
with
dog to
age.
be judged is the Foxhound. Judged today by Pamela Marston Pollock. Best of breed was this bitch 17918. The origin of the Foxhound dates back to around the 13th century, and fox hunting began to supersede
Now
stag
here is the
hunting.
Foxhound, only about
Of
6
course,
here
with the
today.
evolution of fox
It's
hunting these days,
rarely seen
the
in the
hound
show
packs
ring.
are used
The
to pursue
English
a drag
breed was
scent only.
originally used as a pack hound for hunting
Foxhound can be
foxes.
seen more frequently
Many
in small
packs
numbers,
develop their own
although
type,
many
some of them
remain
smooth-coated
local
as we
scent
see
packs
here,
located
some
around
of
the
them
country.
rough-coated. Everything
They're a
should be
powerful,
functional.
keen
They have to be
hound,
athletically
having
built,
stamina and
able to
endurance,
gallop for
and a
long
natural
periods,
ability to hunt.
deep
A
chest
good
for heart
voice,
and lung
a
room.
keen
This
nose,
one is still a
rugged
youngster.
constitution, and ability to get on with other dogs.
And
are
the
all
Foxhound,
hallmarks
Frank,
of
on the
Foxhound.
vulnerable breed list, there were just 2
Although
at
rarely
Crufts
practiced
in
domestic pet,
2022.
does make
A
an
couple of
excellent
years ago, there were
companion,
3 this
having a
year.
solid
It's still
voice
low, isn't
and
it?
attentive
They're
nature,
still not very
ready to
popular in the
effective
show
guard
rings in
dog.
this country, but in
That's our
America and
Foxhound best of
Australia,
breed,
they've been established for much
17918.
longer and more popular there. Lean and athletic. This one's still young. She's got some developing to do, but she's going nicely there.
Mentioned in the forest laws made by King Canute in 1016. Jacqueline White.
Well,
judged
a
the
really
breed
popular
today, and
breed, the
for her
Greyhound. They do make
272,
wonderful
she
pets.
selected
That
this
long
bitch,
head, the elegant
number
neck, the judge will be looking for.
17920,
Long-legged,
as the breed's
of
representative
course. And this is a
here in the
3-year-old
breed room.
Greyhound called Violet.
Greyhounds are generally believed to have been brought to Britain by the Celts.
What a beautiful
though
picture
the
of
origins
elegance.
are most
Everything
probably in the
symmetrical
Middle
and
East.
curving,
Dogs
but also
resembling
the
greyhounds have been
powerhouse in these
discovered
deep
carved on
chest,
ancient Egyptian tombs
well-sprung
which date
ribs
back
to give a
some
heart and lung room
4,000
for
years.
long galloping spells.
The Greyhound is
Very
one of the
smooth in
hound
action. Look at
breeds
it,
most easily
daisy cutting
recognised
across the
by
floor
most
there.
people, and the
Coming from a
only dog
famous
breed
kennel in
mentioned
Sweden,
in
the
the
Sobers
Bible.
kennel. They've had
It's your
many
best
big
of breed
champions.
Greyhound 17920.
A wonderful movement of this Greyhound. Beautiful symmetry
And
as
the next
well.
of our hounds to be judged is the Hamiltonstovare. Judged today by Rony Dojans from an entry of 21. Best of breed was this dog.
Now the
17991.
Hamiltonstovare, the Swedish foxhound,
The handsome,
coming only in this
stylish
rich
Hamiltonstovare
tricolour pattern.
hails from Sweden,
Now, it was
where he is
bred
the
from
most popular of the
English
hound breeds,
English
and
foxhounds
is
originally,
consistently one of
and
Sweden's
developed by
top 10
Count
most
Hamilton, which is
popular
where it
breeds.
gets its name from. So English
The breed
foxhound
gets its name
crossed
from the
with
breed's
German
creator,
hounds.
Adolf Patrick Hamilton, who was also the founder of the Swedish Kennel
This one,
Club.
2-year-old Leo, who is said to be as happy sitting on the sofa as he is running out in the fields. He's won several best of breeds at championship shows. Certainly a big result for him
He's
being
a
here.
very handsome dog. He looks really smart, striding out well, gleaming in condition. He's hard hound condition.
991.
That's a very smart dog.
Judged today for us by Pamela Marston Pollock, the Harrier.
This is a 4-year-old female,
Best
the
of breed
Harrier.
choice
And
is
size-wise,
Bitch,
the
number
Harrier you'll see sitting between the taller
18019.
Foxhound and the smaller
Lovely to see the
Beagle.
hand
But its
in
conformation and
traditional
appearance is pretty
hunting
similar
dress.
to those two. But its mission
The Harrier
was
stands
originally to hunt
between the
hare.
taller Foxhound
And
smaller Beagle,
here's a bit
as
of
they
breed history
evenly
here, because this
size
is a
the
pack
scent
hound
hound.
from the
Its
Holcombe pack,
conformation and
based
appearance
near
is
Holcombe
similar
in
to those
Lancashire,
members of its
and I
family.
can't remember ever
The breed's
pack
history
hounds
can
being
be
shown at
traced back
Crufts.
at least to the 13th century. And its
This
name
one
reflects its
has
original
been
function,
champion at
to hunt
the
hare.
Peterborough, at the
It
Great
was known
Yorkshire
as
Show.
Suncourt
These were
because the hare
hound shows where they're shown
The
off a
Harrier was
lead on the
originally
flags,
followed
as
on
we
foot,
say.
but
And here,
after some
huntsman
interbreeding with the
Mark
Foxhound
Dixon
in the
Bradley,
19th century,
showing
they
the,
could
and
also
very
be
smart
followed
it
on
is.
horseback.
Anglesarch is called.
That's your best of breed Harrier, number 18019.
So this, a champion dog and a pack hound called Anglesark.
It's the turn of the Ibizan Hound now, judged by Pamela Marston Pollock from an entry of 31.
And here is the Ibizan Hound, ancient breed, distinguished by these large ears, this wedge-shaped head, and this lean, athletic body. Obviously a sight hound. It has some idiosyncrasies. You see that the brisket is not as deep as other hounds. It doesn't reach the elbow. That's a breed feature. And this light hovering trot.
I've heard it described, Frank, as the lean, mean rabbit machine. Fit for function, but it's usual, isn't it, to be able to see that rib cage?
In many of the hounds which come from hot countries, they don't carry a lot of subcutaneous fats because that helps them to cope with the heat. And there we see that slight hover with the legs before it puts its feet down, the hovering trot.
She chose as her best of breed this dog, number 1.
Well, there were 129 Irish Wolfhounds being judged today, and it really was quite a spectacle out in the show rings. This is the biggest of all the dog breeds. It is on the vulnerable breed list, but the Irish Wolfhound, this one, a 2-year-old called Malloy from Italy.
Now here's a challenge to breed giant breeds, but keep them sound, so they have light and easy movement. This comes from a famous kennel in Italy, Ludovica Salomon. She's a vet and she's bred many beautiful champions.
The Irish Wolfhound, number 18151.
The judge looking for that movement to be muscular yet graceful. The giants, gentle giants, Irish Wolfhound.
From 62. Best of breed was this bitch, 182.
And here's the Norwegian Elkhound. In Norway, remains of dogs like this were found in Viking graves, and it suggested that they've been there for centuries. They were used to track elk, where their resonant barking attracted the huntsman, and they held the elk at bay.
In Scandinavia for at least 5,000 years. With the current breed standards being
This dog has been American champion, Frank. It's Clemmy is the name, 4 years of age, female, strutting her stuff here.
They're strongly built and functional, this wonderful protective coat. And the markings, shades of grey, and we can see these harness markings, lighter shades over the shoulders there, and the tail plumed over the back. Compact and square and going very nicely. Workmanlike, you can see the sturdiness in that hound.
Otterhounds. With 22, she chose this dog, number 182.
Now the ears are a really unique feature of the Otterhound. They should be long and pendulous, we can see there, characteristically folded inwards. This is a 5-year-old Otterhound from West Sussex called Charman.
However, a small nucleus.
And the nice thing about the Otterhounds is that they've remained rustic. The breeders who have them have kept them rustic and with working ability. Only about 20 years ago, when the Otterhound hunting was made illegal, many of the Otterhound packs were redundant. Only 2 packs gave stock to exhibitors, the Kendall and the Dumfriesshire, and from that stock we've retained this hound. Lovely quality.
Of course, originally bred to hunt otters. You see this oily, weather-resistant coat and webbed feet for the swimming.
18285. Venerated by the ruling dynasty of Egypt.
Now the elegance of the Pharaoh Hound. It was loved by rulers of ancient Egypt. Carvings and their remains in their tombs with them. However, it was native to Malta, where it was a rabbit hunter and taken by sailors to Egypt.
Sailors took dogs with them on their travels and reached Egypt, where he gained popularity.
Coming only in this rich russet red,
the Pharaoh Hound,
elegant, curvaceous and free striding, with this lovely gaunt head and large pricked ears, carrying its tail like a scimitar.
And hunts using both scent and sound.
This is the best of breed Pharaoh Hound, 18285.
Beautiful stride and top line. It looks like an athletic working hound.
Today for the Portuguese Podengo or Warren Hound. She had 35 and chose this bitch number 1.
Here we've got another rabbit hunter, the Portuguese Podengo, also known as the Warren Hound, which is a translation of Podengo. It was very popular in Portugal in the 16th century because it was adept at controlling vermin around the house, but now it is mostly a family dog.
And this hunting ability, along with his
They come in 3 sizes. This is the smallest size we have here, and they come in rough coats and smooth coats. And they are still hugely popular in its native Portugal because they're great characters. They're sort of the Jack Russell of Portugal, really. You can see the character in them, and it's wagging its tail furiously. But however, they are game little rabbit hunters.
Portuguese Podengo, number 18307.
This is 2-year-old Treacle, and the judge will be looking for a dog which is swift and light on the move.
Attention to the Rhodesian Ridgeback. There were 251 Rhodesian Ridgebacks here today.
Now this looks beautiful, the Rhodesian Ridgeback, a picture of athleticism in this lovely russet colour here. The Rhodesian Ridgeback was developed to track game, especially lions, in Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe.
Fast on the scent, athletic in tracking, and courageous in holding.
It takes its name from the ridge of hair which runs in the opposite direction along its spine.
The breed takes its name for a ridge of hair growing in the reverse direction.
It was said that the better the ridge, the more courageous the hunter. This one's striding out. You can see the slight ridge along its spine there, the deep chest. It could have gone with a little bit more energy there. She was beautiful standing still. She might be just a little bit wary of the main arena.
The Saluki. The breed was judged
But beautiful type, lovely stride, and deep athletic body.
Number 18647 as her best of breed.
Here is a 22-month-old Saluki. Just such a striking appearance, elegant, should be light-footed. See that characteristic feathering across the ears, in particular here when we look at the head, and it used to be used to hunt hare, fox and gazelle, the name coming from the ancient Arabian city of Saluk.
Dogs depicted on the tombs of Egyptian pharaohs.
Isn't this a beautiful outline, light and elegant, but with that deep chest that we want in the sight hounds for galloping? And they'll go this slight lift in its hovering movement, this lightness and elegance. Of course, they were much prized by their nomadic owners. Used to have shows with them along with their Arab horses as well. They were prized, often carried in the saddle and put down on the desert when they sighted game.
The Saluki should carry a dignified expression, and the breed standard describes the eyes as being faithful and far-seeing.
There were 9 of them, and best of breed was this bitch 18700.
Now here is the Saluki, a rarer hound. It's a lean sight hound with some similarity to the Saluki, but a completely different breed. This one comes from Africa. We can see the ribs coming through under the coat. That is typical. It's not a sort of case of malnutrition. They carry no subcutaneous fat. That helps them to deal with the heat in the desert.
This is another young one, Frank, just 17 months old. He's travelled here from Cornwall. But that head should be carried high, shouldn't it, when on the move?
And, you know, they have to have a degree of elegance. But this one, you can see it's a young one. It's not yet fully developed in its chest. You can see it looks like a teenager. And just a light lifting gait, not completely coordinated on the move, but it's a young dog.
Always a numerically strong breed. There were a total of
well, by far the biggest breed entry in this hound group is the Whippet. 395 of them at Crufts, and 4-year-old Fendi is won through as best of breed. They really do make lovely family dogs, real gentle and affectionate nature. The judge will be looking here for a long, lean head, should be flat on top, tapering to the muzzle.
There can be no doubt that the breed was developed in England sometime.
The Whippet is all about curves, symmetry and curves mixed with athletic power. It should go with this daisy-cutting action, this clean front movement, skimming the ground, no lift at all, and retaining its arched over the loin on the move. Symmetry, curves, and this lovely smooth coat.
And now the final dog.
Judges will be looking for a balanced combination of muscular power and strength, as well as elegance and grace in that wonderful outline.
There were Fenty, There were 50 import register.
And now from the import register, we have perhaps one of the most extreme of the hounds, the Azawak. It comes from Africa, from the Azawak Valley, and it used to hunt in packs. It is lean and angular. We'll see a very narrow chest. This one a little loose on the move, we see there. But in its angularity, in the hip bones, we see prominent bones of the hips, a deep chest, and a very short body. Again, it shows its ribs, its lean, athletic condition.
And so, as Judge Espen Eng takes one last look at all 34 of these best of breed winning.
Well, the judges had a good look at all the best of breeds in the Hound Group, and we're about to get a shortlist.
They put on a spectacular show for us.
With so many beautiful hounds in the ring, it's a tough decision for our judge this evening, but as a hound expert, I'm sure he's in his element.
Now, he's just reminded himself of what he found on hands-on examination.
So, coming into our hound shortlist this evening.
Shortlisted, the Basenji. I'm happy about that. In comes the Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen and the Petit. Long walk now. The miniature smooth gets pulled forward from the Dachshund family and the standard wire. Out comes the Greyhound. The Pharaoh Hound comes forward, and the Rhodesian Ridgeback. And there we have our shortlist for the Hound Group. There's the standard wire looking alert.
All of our other best of breeds, a very warm round of applause before they leave the ring. 8 shortlisted hounds.
Who's going to fill the last vacant spot for the competition for Best in Show?
Yes, a reminder that we already have a French Bulldog, a Papillon, a Weimaraner, a Leonberger, an Australian Shepherd, and earlier this evening, the Jack Russell Terrier went through to Best in Show. We've got quite a variety here, Frank, haven't we? And another chance now for the judge to see each of these on the move. Here's the Basenji.
This smart swinging stride, this lovely top line, and this tightly curled tail. It's going really stylishly. Top dog in Sweden last year.
Yep, the 5-year-old Ippa.
Now it's the turn of the Basset.
Here's the Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen striding out, the largest of the Basset family, coming from a famous kennel. They've had lots of wins here.
6-year-old Get Me, a champion dog.
Get Me, yes, and here's the little Petit Basset striding out. Not to be outdone by the larger cousin, strutting her stuff.
This one, the younger one as well, 2 years old, Hemi. Comes from Somerset as the owner, but this one bred in Palm Springs.
And this is a miniature smooth, the attitude of a standard smooth, full of confidence, beautifully made, and covering the ground beautifully there.
That was 2-year-old Diva we just saw.
And here's the standard wire, rustic, workmanlike, and really striding. That you can almost feel the texture of that wire coat just looking at it.
4-year-old Alex from Cumbria.
Now it's the turn of the Greyhound.
Here is the Greyhound, a breed close to our judge's heart. They've bred over 200 champions, and their bloodlines spread right round the world.
Yep, Violet travelling from Italy, 3 years old.
It's the Pharaoh Hound.
And here's the Pharaoh Hound, smooth, lithe and athletic.
And this one, Sorella, has just turned 2, female.
Now, here's this lovely Rhodesian Ridgeback. She looks as though she's settling a bit in the main arena now. Beautiful quality and balance. I'd just like to have gone with a little bit more oomph at this stage.
And say these small things which will set one dog apart from another.
Espen's going to send them round, which is always good to see. Send them round to look at the gait, the swinging gait, the top line.
There's our Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen.
Going really smart, this red and white. And there is the Grand Basset. Lovely stride. The Petit, full of character.
Followed on by the Wirehead.
And there's that very confident Mini Smooth. Lovely.
Make sure he gets a head start on the others, else they're going to be catching up with him.
Standard wire. And there's the Greyhound. Long, striding, and smooth outline. And the Pharaoh Hound. Very nice.
I do like the description of the owner from the Pharaoh Hound, saying she'll steal your heart and your dinner and your shoes if you leave them out.
And there is the Rhodesian Ridgeback. Now, he's a man of decision, Espen.
Well, the boards are being called out, Frank, which means he's made his decision.
Renowned all over the world as a sight hound judge, and he's an all breeds judge, but where's he going? The Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen has won it.
Well, this is the 6-year-old, Get Me. Well, he did come and get him.
Yes,
Jumping for joy.
Second place, the Basenji. How marvellous. The Basenji goes into second place.
That was your judging, Frank, earlier.
Yes, I'm very happy. And there's the Greyhound, those lovely lines.
17920. Group 4.
And the Pharaoh Hound in fourth place. But it's the Grand Basset which will stay on a bit longer to compete for Best in Show later this evening.
Yes, and this dog is from the Netherlands. 6-year-old Get Me has been a champion dog. Let's hear a bit of reaction.
And it's the Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen. And Nook, how excited are you?
Yeah, very.
Tell us a little bit about this dog particularly.
Well, it's a very special dog. I get him from my sister when she moved to Australia to go on to show him here in Europe. And, well, he just did.
And so is this his first time in the UK?
No, it's his 5th time. He went before here at Crufts and went Group 4 and Group 2. So now he's Group 1.
So now you've got to go in Best in Shows. Are there going to be any final preparations now? Oh, come on. I mean, that's just asking for it.
A little bit water or something, or no, he's ready for it.
Well, I think if he does that again in Best in Show, I think he's going to be a big crowd favourite.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen winning the group.
Oh, well, he's stolen a few hearts there as well, Frank, I think as well. Get Me, that is.
Oh, Get Me.
What a character. What an absolute character. So it is Get Me, the Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen, who goes through to Best in Show and completes the lineup for this evening. A very quick turnaround.
That's Ian Seath. He's chairman of the Dog Health Committee at the Kennel Club, the Conformation and Movement Committee, which looks at health issues in breed standards. Presenting the award there. There's that lovely Basenji. I'm so happy to see him placed in the group here.
Yep, Emma Prahl, the handler there. That's the 5-year-old Ipa, the Basenji, and the Greyhound 3-year-old Violet. Travelled here from Rome in Italy. And closing out 4th place, the Pharaoh Hound, who has just turned 2, Sorella, from